Hi there. My name is Mr. Howell, and I run the film and television production class here at IRHS. I don't know if you've noticed, but there have been some cameras following you around all day. And these folks with cameras and microphones that have been sort of getting up in your grill, they're the film and television production students. And they're applying everything that they've learned in the class thus far. So basically, you can come and you can see me for 4 years. First year, you come in and you learn about the basics of film, video production, how to, create a shot, how to storyboard, how to write a script, how to format a script, and there's a lot of hands-on, basically work-based learning. And then second year, you just start making movies. We start making movies. We take a deeper dive into the theory of film. We start learning about some of the forefathers and foremothers of film. And then gradually we work our way into more and more application and less of this, me just standing here and talking to you. So to show you how that works, today we thought we'd throw you right in the water. We have, the cameras are rolling, right?
Yeah.
Cameras rolling? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to let you shoot the rest of this presentation. So is there anyone here who would be willing to hold the camera? All right, we got 1, we got 2, we got 3. Okay, would the 3 of you mind standing up, please? And since you're right there, Aaron's going to hand his camera off to you. So Aaron, if you can hand your camera off. Kayla, why don't you hand your camera off here? And why don't you come around here? And James can hand her camera off to you. Good. So you're going to hand your light off. I mean your mic off.
So where your fingers are,
All right.
you
Let's
want
see.
to
Change like that.
Yeah. And did you show them what the zoom is?
put right here, this thing.
And then what is this one?
All right. So the
That one.
the final 3 of you, I'd like you to stand up and you can come join me right here.
This one. Oh, no, that's for you.
Okay.
And this
You're
one.
on.
I don't know.
Okay. So this is Kelton. Kelton is going to be a model today. We're going to be taking video of Kelton. So we have his cameras passed off.
Yeah, and then
And you're shooting video?
you want to
The
make
camera
sure
rolling?
that you're as close as
Okay.
possible.
All right, folks. Are we kind of feel like we know what we're doing? Yeah? Okay. So why don't you hand off your mic and your headphones to Kayla. So Kayla, you're now the mic person.
There you go, Kayla.
And Nathan, why don't you get on your flag and your seat stand?
Sorry, no music.
Good. And we're going to be setting up what's called. There you go. Am I in your shot? Yeah. So you see me? All right. Am I in your shot? Yeah. Okay. Am I in your shot? So today we're going to be setting up a lighting setup called a 3-point. So I'm going to take 2. Ready? And today we're going to be doing a 3-point lighting setup. And in order to make that happen, we need 3 people because how many lights do you think there are in a 3-point lighting setup? 3. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you, you're going to go over and stand right next to Nate. You're going to give him a hand. You're going to come right over here. And you're going to join Caleb right back there on that light. And this is Kelton. Kelton is one of my former students. He actually happens to be the brother of one of the cameramen that's been working here today. Kelton has graciously volunteered to be a model for us today.
Definitely.
So a 3-point lighting setup is an incredibly standard lighting setup for film and television. You see it in a lot of documentaries. You see it in a lot of movies, especially romantic movies and comedies. And basically, it works like this. So we have 3 lights: the key, the rim, and the fill. The first light that we set up when we're setting up a 3-point lighting setup is the key. So our key is right around here at about a 45-degree angle to our subject. So why don't you go ahead and plug that light in and we'll turn it on. This instrument that Elijah's using right here, this is called a Fresnel. It's named for the piece of glass that we sit in front of the light source. And it allows us to focus the light into a small little circle or into a wide sort of broad soft light. So why don't you go ahead and light this. Notice what Elijah does before he turns this light on.
Striking.
So what did Elijah do?
Says striking.
He says striking, yeah. So we have this language that we speak in film production. And whenever we're going to turn on a light, we say striking. Why do you think we say striking before we turn on a light on a set?
someone doesn't look right at the lights.
So someone doesn't look right at the light, right? And if you look into the light and then you're walking and you trip over something and you die, then we have to call the insurance company, and it's a whole thing. So make sure that we see striking before we turn on our light. And what's that?
The cops first?
No, insurance always. Lawyer maybe first. So you're going to want to take that light and we're going to point it right at Kelton. Very good. You might want to, we're going to want to sort of tilt it down a little bit. Good. Get the hot spot on his face. And then if you could tighten that down just a little bit, just right on his face, that'd be perfect. Great. So we've got our key light. How does that look to you? Does it look okay in your camera? All right, cool. So after the key, then we do this thing called the rim light. And the rim light is actually located right behind you. So this is Caleb right here. Caleb, why don't you go ahead and plug in that light and let's get it going. So why don't we turn off the key light and we're going to focus this rim light. So the rim light points at the back of Kelton's head. So basically what we're hoping for is a nice little halo around Kelton's head. And we use this light to offset Kelton from his background. And while you're doing that, I'm going to ask Nate. Nate's right behind you, so you're going to have to move that way just a little bit. Nate's going to bring this thing over here. This is a behemoth. It's actually got a sandbag on it, so let me pull this up. So, yeah, we're going to lift this right over by Kelton.
All right.
You ready? Good? Mm-hmm. So this right here, this stand is called a C-stand. And this thing right on the end of the C-stand, this is called a flag.
Is that good, Hal?
Maybe a little bit closer. We want the flag about right there. So what do you think we use this flag for? What does it look like it might be used for?
I'm like, it's a red flag.
What did you say?
I don't know, like a different type of light, like a different source of light.
It is, yes. This helps us to reflect light onto Kelton's face. So this big piece of white fabric right here, what we call a silk, basically just bounces light from any source in the space right back onto our subject. So we can put it here and we can bounce light onto Kelton's face, or we can actually set a light up behind it. And what it does is it spreads our light source, and it does this thing called softening, which basically means that it destroys all of the shadows. But in this case, we're going to put this one right here. We're going to bounce some light back onto Kelton's face. Why don't we turn on our key right there? And if you could do me a favor, let's go ahead and get a nice shot of Kelton's face and see what he looks like in your shot there. Look pretty good?
Yeah.
All right. Why don't the two of you come on over here and take a look at Kelton through your camera. Not too bad, huh? Not too shabby? You guys did a good job? Looks good. What do you think? All right, you're all hired. Very nice. If you could do me a favor, go ahead and cut those lights. And if you also could hand your cameras back to your respective camera people, I'd appreciate that. And then go ahead and have a seat where you sat when you first came into the room.
Finally, I can retire.
So,
Better than this.
just a brief little brush with film production. But basically, that's what you do almost every day. Apart from being creative and working with actors and getting to design and make dreams come true. Are there any questions? Anything that I can answer about this program?
Why don't y'all use like the DSLRs like the photography class used?
So we actually do use DSLRs. So our beginning class works with the video setting on a DSLR. Any other questions? Any questions about how movies are made? No? It's been a long day. Yeah?
How much do you think each of those cameras weighs?
About 5 pounds, but to her probably about 1 million at this point in the day. Yeah, it's a workout. It really is.
What's like let's say I just want to take a video or a picture. What's like the best way to get good lighting? Like what's the best type of lighting?
Well, I mean, you've all been doing video, I think, probably every day of your lives since March, right? So a lot of the same things that you use for your Zoom calls are the things that we use when we don't have fancy lights when we're making movies. So natural lighting is always the best choice. If you have a window and you can let the sun into your house, that's always a great choice, or if you can be outside. Otherwise, something like a desk lamp, you can use a desk lamp and you can get a photo light bulb to screw into your desk lamp. And then if you point that in the right direction, you've got good lighting. So, Yeah? All right, cool. Well, thank you guys. Hope you had a good day.